explain the algorithm for infix to postfix conversion here. So I already explained the concepts of postfix in the previous video. So let me explain the algorithm. So how to implement that using stack. Okay. So first of all, you have to initialize an empty stack, guys. Just to declare an empty stack. Okay. So that's the first step you have to do. You go for a step-by-step process. Okay. And this step is crucial. You have to add, the opening parenthesis onto the stack and a closing parenthesis at the end of the input expression. Okay. So you are going to input some expression, right? Maybe uh, parenthesis a plus b hashtag c, whatever it is. Okay. You're going to implement something. You're going to enter the infix expression and the output should be postfix. So you're going to enter the infix expression, right? At the end of that infix expression, you have to add this closing parenthesis, guys. And in the stack, in the empty stack, you have to add the opening parenthesis. This is just to verify whether the string is over or not. Okay, so this helps for balancing, I'll tell you. Okay, so this step is very important. After that, you have to scan the infix expression, the input string, that's the infix expression, character by character from left to right. Okay, so you have to scan that character input string character by character from the left end to right end, exactly what we have done in balancing a parenthesis. Okay, so and while scanning, if an operand means 5 6 a b or c, anything other than operators and brackets, if an operand is encountered, push it into p, that is the output string. Okay, so declare an output string also. I forgot to mention that here. Declare an output string also. Okay, so if an operand is encountered, directly you push into the output string. Okay, or add it to the output string. All right, so if an operand is encountered, you add it to the output string. Okay, if a left parenthesis is encountered, then push it into the stack. Okay, if a left parenthesis is encountered, then push it into the stack. You just directly push that the left parenthesis into the stack. Okay, this step is crucial. You have to remember this step. Okay, if an operand is encountered, then push into the output expression, output string. If a left parenthesis is encountered, then push it into the stack. Okay, the algorithm works in this way only. If an operator is encountered, what do you mean by operator? Maybe hashtag plus minus slash. If an operator is encountered, then top of stack is opening parenthesis. If an operator is encountered, then you go and check the top of the stack. Okay, the last element of the stack. If that is an opening parenthesis, then push the operator into the stack. Okay, the top of the stack is opening parenthesis, then they push the operator into the stack. Okay, and if the operator at the TOS mean top of the stack. Okay, if operator at the top of the stack, if there is an operator at the top of the stack, I mean you are encountering an operator in the input string. Okay, so whatever you are encountering in the input string, you are doing some actions, right? So you are encountering an operator in the input string. If you encounter another operator at the top of the stack, if you do that, then you have to check the priority, guys. Okay, so the operator at the input string and the operator at the stack, you have to check the priority. If this operator at the stack has the same or higher priority, same, say for an example, this operator is operator in the input string, input string is minus, and this operator is product operator. Okay, hashtag, then it has some higher priority, right? Higher priority than the subtraction operator, right? So if it has higher and same priority than the current operator, then pop the operator from the stack. Okay, just pop one element and add it to the output string. Okay, you pop the hashtag or product operator and you add it to the output string. All right, so repeat for every operator in stack. You go back in your stack, and if you still have one more operator, you do this again. Okay, say for an example, I'll go after removing that product operator, I'll check whether I'll have another operator. If I have slash operator, that also has higher priority than the subtraction operator, so I have to remove that also. Okay, so repeat for every operator in stack. Hold on, I'll give you a good idea about this. Okay, I'll just explaining the algorithm. After this video, I'll give you a good idea. Okay, then push the current operator to the stack. This operator is there, right? The minus operator or operator. You push that current operator to the stack itself. All right. Okay, and yeah, after that you have last step. If it is a closing parenthesis, so you have four possibilities, guys. You can either encounter an operand a b c d or 5 plus 6 5 6 7 or whatever it is. you have to add it to the output string. If you can encounter a left parenthesis, add it to the stack. If a operator is encountered, then do this following: check two more conditions and do the needful. If a closing parenthesis is encountered, then you have to pop the operator from the stack and add them to the output string. Okay, you have to pop the operator from the stack and add them to the output string until an opening parenthesis is encountered. Okay, all right. So if a closing parenthesis is encountered, if it is a closing parenthesis, then you pop the stack will definitely have an operator. Okay, so just pop that and add them to the output string, that is p. Okay, until an opening parenthesis is encountered. Okay, you keep on repeating this, you will get an opening parenthesis in stack. If that is the case, then pop and discard the opening parenthesis. Okay, and you have to repeat this for another input. If you want, if you can repeat these steps. Okay, and don't worry, I'll explain this video in a okay, I'll explain this algorithm uh, in a good manner in the next video. All right, so don't worry.